Next, I would like to introduce father and son, Paul and Jonathan Blaustein. Paul is a member of the Human Services Advisory Council, and he actually serves in a dual capacity. He is a consumer advocate, and he is also, and his family is also recipients of consumer services. Jonathan is our honorary member of the Human Services Advisory Council, and he is a very active participant in many county and community activities. We welcome you here today, and we're anxious to hear your words. Thank you.
I guess I was going to introduce myself, but that's already been done. Let me just say that Jonathan is currently an adult with developmental disabilities. He attends a day program run by Spectrum for Living, a wonderful nonprofit that provides residential and day program services in Middlesex, Bergen, and Passaic counties. Jonathan also participates in a superb Saturday respite program provided by the ARC of Middlesex County. I'd like to thank Freeholder Valenti for her leadership and commitment to provide necessary services and supports to our neediest citizens. My thanks also to the Middlesex County DHS, led by Tom Seilheimer and Bridget Kennedy, and to HSAC Chair Judy Tabbert for their efforts to bring this vital issue to the public and plan this event. As a resident of Middlesex County, I am proud that our elected freeholders, county employees, and public volunteers have come together to provide leadership on this crucial matter. Section 811 sounds innocuous, which obscures how critical it is to so many people with disabilities. Section 811 provides funding to allow nonprofit organizations to build or acquire and renovate housing that is provided to disabled persons at affordable rents. Section 811 provides funding for support services which are necessary to permit disabled persons to live in their community. Finally, Section 811 provides funding so that rents charged to disabled persons are limited to 30% of their adjusted family income. In short, Section 811 allows persons with disabilities to live as independently as possible in their community. Fortunately, most of us are able to take independent living for granted. For persons with disabilities, it is too often merely a dream. Today, waiting lists are long and growing. How can this not be a high priority of a benevolent government? The Special Olympics promote physical fitness, self-esteem, and provide an avenue for personal accomplishment among persons with intellectual disabilities. Such activities are widely and routinely funded by government and school boards for the non-disabled population. Simple equity requires equal opportunities for our disabled neighbors. This January, our Sergeant Shriver, the last of the three most prominent supporters of Special Olympics, passed away, following the passing of his wife, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, and his brother-in-law, Senator Edward Kennedy, in 2009. Without their advocacy, we must honor their legacy and continue to fund this program. I personally have spent nearly 4 decades in the investment business. I am well aware that the U.S. government is on an unsustainable fiscal path. While federal spending must be reduced, it is the role of our elected representatives to set the correct priorities that reflect American values. The recent GAO report and the Bowles-Simpson Commission have provided blueprints for substantial deficit reduction. It is the responsibility of Congress and the President to identify and eliminate unnecessary, ineffective, and duplicative spending while preserving essential services. President Kennedy noted that life is unfair. Disabilities are not and cannot be distributed in a fair manner. We attempt to share the burden of their disabilities by providing appropriate assistance to persons with disabilities. This is a noble endeavor that enriches our moral fiber. On Monday evening, President Obama stated that the United States is an exceptional nation. This sentiment is bipartisan and has been expressed by leaders on both sides of the aisle, such as President Reagan. Americans do not turn away from injustice or people in need. Americans provide the required resources and solve problems. Persons with disabilities are our neighbors. They are us. They want what we all want, to live independently in their community, share in the opportunities that are available to their non-disabled peers, and live their lives with dignity. Relative to the size of the federal budget, the required funding is small and manageable. It is the job of our elected representatives to ensure that our most vulnerable citizens are adequately cared for. In the movie The American President, the fictional Michael Douglas character, President Andrew Shepard, admits that he was so busy trying to keep his job that he forgot to do his job. I beseech our elected representatives, stop the posturing and do your jobs. Protect the lives and well-being of our most vulnerable neighbors. We are Americans. This is what we do. Thank you.